Plain old stinking cute. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. We are going to have some fun making this super stinking cute project. What am I talking about? I am talking about this, and I hope that the colors make you happy because they definitely make me happy. Spring is here and I am loving it. So, what is this? So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera to give you a closer look. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so this is one of the project styles that we did in my recent spring fling. And I thought that I would share it with you because I absolutely love this particular design. And when you open it, it is multi-purpose. So you can put recipes in here. You can put notes in here. You can put greeting cards in here. It is perfect for a whole bunch of other things. I left this part blank because I'm not sure what I want to put right here. I was thinking about putting a little pocket, but I haven't decided if that's what I want to do. So we're just going to go ahead and build it as is. So I have a magnetic closure on mine. You don't have to have a magnetic closure. You can make yours using magnets or Velcro. But what we have are 3 independent boxes that we're going to join together to get this look. And it's going to be so easy. It's not going to take much. Grab your file folders because that is what we're using to build this whole project. So what I have one piece of 12 by 12. That's what we're going to be using for the decorative elements of the project. And then I have 4 standard size file folders, and I decided to stick with that happy theme. So I have this nice bright springy orange, and my file folders are 2 tones. It's more of a salmon color, so you have an option of whether you want to use the outside or the inside. I'm going with this color today, but I have 4 standard size file folders that are designed to hold 8.5 by 11-inch documents. We're going to take 3 of these right now and start making our project. So I brought in my trimmer and I'm going to make one of the boxes with you, and I'll make the other 2 off camera because these boxes are constructed in the same way, each box. So we're going to take our file folder, and with it folded, we're going to take that fold mark and place it at 6.5, and we cut. And you're going to have a long skinny file folder. Now we're going to turn it, fold it, and we're going to cut it at 9.5. This will be what you do for all 3 file folders for the 3 boxes that you'll be making. So I'm going to keep my file folders folded because I've discovered that if I use the bigger head on my stylus, I can get that score to go through to the other side, and then I can just go back on the other side and reinforce that score. So I'm scoring at 1. I'm going to flip it to the opposite 9.5 inch side and score at 1. Flip it over and just reinforce that 1 inch fold. Then most file folders have ridges for expansion. I am going to open this, and my ridges are on this side. So I'm going to use my trimmer now, and I'm going to take the fold and slide it over to 5.5, and I'm going to trim off this. Then I'm going to flip my scoreboard back over, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So what I did, my ridges are on this side. I simply moved this over to 5.5, and I trimmed off the excess. Then we scored at 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to take it and flip it to the opposite side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 5.5. And you do this with all 3 file folders. So what I'm going to do to make sure that we have this process down, I'll go ahead and cut and score all 3 file folders, and then I'll put 2 of the boxes together off camera. So with it folded, let's go ahead and trim to 6.5. Then we're going to take this, turn it to the long side and trim it at 9.5. Then I'm going to go ahead and just make these score marks. So on the 9.5-inch side, I'm going to score at 1, and I do have my file folder folded. Then I'll flip it over and just reinforce that 1-inch score. Then I'll flip it this way to the opposite 9.5-inch side, and we score at 1. Then I'll turn it and just reinforce that 1-inch fold. So now that we have it like this, we are going to open the file folder, and my ridges are on this side, and I'm going to take the side that has the ridges, take that fold point that was already there, and slide the fold point over to 5.5 and cutting away that amount. Then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to take it and turn it, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 5.5. So before we put the box together, your pieces should look like this. So I'm going to take that third one, and we are going to take the fold and cut at 6.5. Then we're going to take it and turn it to the long side, and we're going to cut at 9.5. Then we're going to go ahead and make our 1-inch scores. So on the 9.5-inch side, we score at 1. I'm going to flip it over so that I can reinforce that 1 score. Then I'll flip it to the opposite 9.5-inch side, and we score at 1. Then I'm going to flip it and reinforce that 1-inch score. So now I can open it, go back to my trimmer, and my fold point is right here. I want to slide that over to 5.5. My ridges, or those score marks, the expandable score marks, are on this side, so I'll score at 5.5. I meant cut at 5.5. And then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Now I can take it and turn it, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 5.5. So now we can put our boxes together. Now I'm going to be using glue to put my boxes together, but it's completely up to you if you want to use glue or tape. I just prefer glue because sometimes the weather can affect the stick on the tape, and you might find that your project is starting to come undone. So I am just basically folding and burnishing my scores. Now you don't want to fold and burnish any of those ridges that were already imprinted on your file folder. You simply want to fold and burnish the scores that you made. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle here, remove this piece, angle here, remove this piece, take my glue, place some glue on this piece and fold over and get that stuck. And then on this end, we're not going to remove the corner pieces. We're simply going to angle on both sides of the score mark. So let's angle and angle. Now I'll take my glue, put my glue on this piece. I'm going to fold over, and we're going to get this stuck. So far your piece should look like this. Now we are going to go in and free that center tab. So I'm going to go up to the score mark, cut straight down, angle, angle, and I'm just going to reduce mine. Do the same thing over here. And then I'm just going to reduce this. So your piece should look like this. We are ready to put the box together, and the way that we put it together is we're going to add glue to this little tab here. And we're going to take this end where we'll remove the end pieces and we're going to join it. So you're simply going to make sure that you get the bottoms matched. You want it to be nice, tight, and crisp. I'll go in, work that stick. Then we'll do the same thing over here. I'll place my glue on this piece and we'll join this piece, making sure that the bottoms are nice and even. Flip it over. And I'll go on the inside and get it stuck. So now we're going to take this piece, we're going to add glue to this piece, including the top, and then we'll take it and fold it over. That will help us to make sure that everything is nice and aligned. So I am going to take my glue, make sure that I get a nice coating of glue on the edge. Just going to take my finger a little bit and spread the glue to the edge. Now I can take this and fold it over, and we fold this in, and this just helps us to stay straight. So now I can go in and get this stuck. And then I'll burnish the ends here to make sure that everything is nice and flat like that. And we'll do the same thing over here. So I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on this flap. Then I'm just going to spread that glue to the edge. Now I can fold over. We can tuck this in. This is how we know that our box is nice and straight. Now I can go in, get everything stuck. And then I'll just go along the edges to burnish to make sure that we have a good stick on this. And there is our box. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two, and I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, we have our 3 boxes, and now I'm going to show you just how easy it is to put these together. So all we're going to do is stack them one against the other, and I am going to do my stacking with glue. You can use tape if you want, but I like using glue because it gives me some wiggle room, so that I can adjust this if I want. So I'm being very generous with my glue. Then I'm going to take my finger and really spread it out towards the edges because I want to make sure that the edges get nice and stuck. So let's get up here. I'm using a wet wipe to wipe the glue from my fingers. And now I can take this and we'll stand it up and we will just straighten everything out at the top like that. Then I'll just start squeezing to get everything nice and even on the sides. Now, we know that it is not going to be perfect, but y'all, we aren't going for perfection. We are going for a nice look here. as best as we can get it, but we are not going for any type of perfection. So all I'm going to do is just go around a little bit and get these nice and stuck. Then I'm going to take my third one and put it on as well. So again, I'm going to take my glue, place my glue, put some glue in here, make sure that I have glue on the edges because we want to make sure the joining seams, we can get them as tight as we can. So now I'm going to take my box and I'm just going to stack it against this one. And I'm going to try to get it as even as possible. And it looks a little wonky right now, but as that glue dries and it hardens, we'll be able to straighten that out. So now I'm just going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get this nice and stuck together. I'll just go around, squeezing, making sure that I have a nice, decent stick on this. So now we can just set this to the side for a moment and let it dry just a little bit. So there's my 3 stacks of boxes. I'm going to place those over here. So let's bring in the 4th file folder, and with it folded, we're going to bring the fold mark over to 70. Then we're going to turn it on the long side, and we're going to score at 9 3/4. And I keep saying score, I meant cut. So your finished piece when folded is going to be 7 by 9 3/4. So I'm going to take my stylus and score at 1 on the 9 3/4 inch side, flip it to the opposite 9 3/4 inch side, and score at 1. Then I'm just going to turn it over and reinforce those 1-inch scores that I made. So now I can open it, and we're going to score at 3 1/4, at 8 1/4, and at 11 1/2. So now we're going to fold and burnish all of the score marks that we made. Don't fold and burnish the natural ridges that were there. We're simply going to focus on the ones that we made. So I am just going to fold and burnish the scores that I made. Then you're going to have 2 end pieces. One will be smaller than the other. This is that fold over flap at the top. So all I'm going to do is go in and angle like that, and angle here. Then I'll go over to this side. We'll angle and angle like that. And now I'm just going to take some tape. We're going to place some tape right here, and we'll fold over. I'm just getting this part out of the way because when I was doing my practice prototype, I accidentally cut these little wings off, and I wanted to keep them. So it didn't mess up the project, but I wanted to make sure that I had that at the front of my mind as I was doing this. So now we have the fold over flap there. Now I'm going to go to every score mark that I made, and I'm going to angle on both sides of those score marks. So then I can slide all the way down here and angle. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I don't have all of that bulk in the way when I am putting down the boxes and we fold over. So I'm just going to angle here and here. So now I'm just going to take some tape Add some tape here. Add some tape here. Some tape here. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's add some tape. And now that we have all of that taped, I am going to just peel away my tape backers, and we will fold each one of these over. So fold over, fold over, fold over, and I'll go back over it with my bone folder. Do the same thing on this side. And now let's just fold over. So now we have the jacket. We can take the body, put the body on, fold over, and fold over. And this is how we get the look. So I am going to take my glue, place glue on the bottom, spread that just a little bit. Can y'all tell I like playing in glue? Get some of that glue off of my hands. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to put it down, and I'll move it around, and I'll make sure that I don't have it on my spine so that I can fold up. So now we can press down, flip it over, get that nice and stuck. Now I'm going to take this part and we're going to glue it to the back. So we're going to place our glue on like this. Again, I'll just smooth that a little bit. And now I can take this and we can bring it up. When I take my hand and press it down, I'm going to be pressing it forward to make sure that it is not on my score mark and that it is nice and even at the bottom. Then I can go in with my bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you can go in with a nice ruler, just something that's going to get in there and really work that stick from the inside. Then you can flip it over and you can work the stick from the back. And so now this piece is just going to come up and go over like this. See how that looks? I think that that is so pretty just without anything on it. I like the bright colors. For some reason, I'm not normally a bright colored person, but I love the bright colors of this lemon yellow and this bright orange. So now I'm going to grab just a couple of my magnets. You don't have to have magnets to do this. You can use Velcro dots if you want. You do not have to have magnets. And I am going to take my magnets and I am going to add just a little bit of glue on that magnet. And I'm going to place it on the inside, and I'll show you the placement in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get the other one in, give them just a moment to set up so they won't move around, and then I will show you how I have these placed. So hopefully you can see those two magnets on the inside. So now I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take 2 of my smaller magnets and put those magnets right there. Then I'm going to take some tape, and we're going to place some tape right in here because hopefully that will catch the magnets. My magnets do not have adhesive backing on them, so that is why I'm doing it like this. So I'm just laying down tape that should catch the magnet. And if you're interested in the magnets that I use, please make sure you're checking my Amazon storefront link. It is in the description box. Today I'm using a 6mm by 1mm, and on the inside I used a 10mm by 1mm. So I am going to take this, try to get it even as I fold over, and then I'm just going to press and my magnets did transfer, so now we have the magnets up top. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my decorative piece because it's time to put that on. So I'm going to cut this at 7 1/4, and then I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 4 3/4, and that'll go on the front and the back. And then I should be able to take this piece here and place it on the inside. So I am going to go ahead and just add some tape. To these pieces. And then we're going to put them on, and y'all, we're almost finished. So now I'm just going to peel off my tape backers, and we're going to put our little decorative pieces down. And I'll take this piece, put it right there. I think that's going to be pretty. Then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to cover our magnets. And it'll go over like that. All right, I ended up moving my magnets to the outside because it turns out I probably should have used my 10mm magnets top and bottom. So I put them on the outside. Now we can close this. I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to take this piece and put it on the back. And then we're just going to place that down like that. So now we have a nice front, we have a nice back. I'm going to take some of this leftover and put it on the top. So I am going to take a piece that is 7 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's what we're going to use on the top. So I'm just going to take some tape and place some tape down, and then we'll put this down. So now I'm going to peel away this backer. We're going to take this piece and I'm going to put it down like that. Not exactly straight, but it'll do. So now I'm going to bring in a little piece of scrap, and I'm just going to cut out a little triangle to go there just as a little decorative touch. And then I want to keep the pink flower look, so I am just going to take this and cut this out. So now I have a little pink flower there and a little pop of pinkness there. So I am just going to take some glue, add some glue, put this down, add my glue here, take this piece and put it down. And let's get that nice and stuck. So then I'm going to go into this little sticker pack that I got from Hobby Lobby. They might still have these, I'm not sure, but it is from Hobby Lobby. Several of you have been asking. These are from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it down right there. Not doing much, just a little something to this. And I think it's the little things that really do help our projects to shine. So now I want to make a handle. And when we were cutting out, we had a lot of strips of scrap left over. So all I'm going to do is take a strip of my scrap and I am going to just double stack these. And the length is completely up to you, but these are 10 inches by 1 inch that I'm using here. So I am going to peel away my tape backer. And we are going to see if we can get these stuck fairly even. They're not too bad. So now I'm going to take my bone folder and just give this a little curl. Then I'll fold the ends here. And we're going to take this and we're going to put it on like this. And I'll be putting it on with glue. So I'm going to add my glue very generously. We're going to take this and we're going to put it down. Y'all, I am loving it. I'm going to use my bone folder to work that stick a little bit. Y'all, look at how that looks. It's just paper. So I'm going to take a few little enamel dots and I'm going to place them where I put the glue. So I'm going to take my big one and put it there. Take the two smaller ones and put them there. My enamel dots are fairly old, so I'm putting down some glue so that they will not come undone. So I'm going to add some glue on this side. Doesn't take much glue, just enough to keep it from pulling up. Let's put this little enamel dot here. Put this one here. And we will put this one right there. And there we have it. Y'all, that is so stinking cute. Look at it. Just fabulous. So I'm going to bring that first one back in because I want you guys to see all of this citrusy goodness. We have our lemon yellow and our orange. I think these are just absolutely fabulous. We made them with a file folder and one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. Gorgeous. So y'all, just take a moment and look at these. Don't they just make you happy? Don't bright colors just do something for your mood? I know they do for me. I don't care how I'm feeling. When I look at something that's bright and cheerful, it always, even if only for a moment, makes me happy. If you're doing a spring craft fair, why not include a whole bunch of all occasion cards in yours and sell these at your craft fair? Go for those bright, springy colors. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun, quick and easy way that we can make something like this from 4 file folders and one 12 by 12 sheet. If you have enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. And I would love to have you subscribe, so hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload a new video. As always, My beautiful crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.